no brain, no courage, no heart. So you're politicians, right? You can give a person knowledge, but you can't make them think. Some people want to remain fools only because the truth requires change. Did you know, after 5 months AP investigation in 50 major cities in 50 states, that 24 major cities water tested positive for having sex hormones, mood stabilizers, antibiotics, ibuprofen, heart and cholesterol drugs, and acetaminophen, affecting 41 million Americans. Always filter your water, better still distill it. The sun walking on water, the truth, religion. Hi, I'm Stanley Meyer. I invented a water car. I was poisoned during a business meeting with an investor from NATO, the world government. Had me killed and stole my invention because I was a revolutionary who was going to change the world. And that video, if you search Stanley Meyer, you'll still find the YouTube video where he's driving. He made a local news channel where they're interviewing about his car that runs on water, and this was back in the 80s. But the evil cabal don't want that sort of thing. They don't want free energy because they can't keep the control over us then. The year is 2387. Earth is a member of the Federation of Planets, but without Great Britain, which is still trying to leave the EU. Official government documents have leaked showing that Theresa May has been claiming between $400 and $520 per month for cleaning at her home. No name of cleaner is mentioned, no address of cleaner is given. Considering she is married and her husband also benefits from a clean home, shouldn't he be paying half of the bill, rather than all of it being claimed from British workers? Theresa May didn't forget to claim for £101.59 paperclip either. She also claims the entirety of her monthly mortgage payments, but curiously her mortgage expenses claims vary from month to month, between around £1,700 per month and £2,700 per month. Theresa May has also been paying around £2,400 to MP Services on a regular basis, a company based in Hornchurch, which has no website and no employees, with assets of only £46 according to official documents at Company's House. Theresa May has also been claiming her full gas bill and full cell phone bills, all the while, of course, her government have been slashing benefits and cutting housing and rent allowance benefits for disabled people. Care to explain why you are voting Tory? You know what this means. Yeah, they'll steal all our land and say God gave it to them. Hard to fathom how the entire nation has been hypnotised to believe that a self-limiting childhood rash that confers lifetime immunity has been public enemy number one. Talk about the power of propaganda. They've turned measles into the Black Plague. That's quite a trick. Drastic new plan to prevent mums with kids in care having more children. Their babies are often being placed straight into care. In other words, stolen by the SS. Women whose children have been taken into care could be asked to start using contraceptive implants under a new council scheme. Absolute dictatorship. The move comes after some women have had up to 7 or 8 children taken off them, stolen by the paedophile government councils. The proposal from Derbyshire County Council would affect women in Ilkeston and Long Eaton as well as other areas of the county. According to the council, the most common reasons for women having children taken away are alcohol and substance abuse, domestic abuse, street sex work and mental health issues. Criminal proceedings or learning disabilities are other reasons which triggered a child being taken into care. In Derbyshire, 80 women had 262 children under the age of 5 taken into abuse during the 5 years up to March 2018. The highest number of children removed into care from one mother was 8. One had 7 and 6 had 6 taken away. Stolen by the state. Let's get back to some, let's see if we can whip up some shit, shall we? Shamima Begum, given legal aid to fight for British citizenship. Oh, we must hate her now then, you know, that jihadi bride and all that bullshit. ISIS bride Shamima Begum is now seemingly being granted legal aid in a bid by her lawyers to stop the government removing her citizenship, according to reports. What a farce. In a sign of how soft the UK approaches on such matters, a taxpayer bill that could run into the hundreds of thousands will instead be ran into the legal battle, according to the Daily Mail. Daily Fail, should we say. Begum's family are hiring Gareth Pearce, one of the UK's top human rights lawyers, according to the Telegraph. The ISIS supporter has previously quoted as saying, "When I saw my first severed head in a bin, it didn't faze me at all. It was from a captured fighter seized it on the battlefield, an enemy of Islam." She claimed that the British people should have sympathy towards her. Well, that's the part where they want you to focus on and go, "Oh, this is terrible. We shouldn't be doing this." You know, divide and conquer, the usual rule. It has been alleged that Begum even helped stitch suicide bombers into explosive vests. Conservative, more bullshit there again, because I don't think she's even in where she's supposed to be. Conservative MP Philip Davis reacted furiously, saying, "It's absolutely disgusting how we are funding this person who is someone who joined an organisation that wants to destroy our way of life and our country." Yeah, propaganda. How she has been allowed to sponge off taxpayers' money to get back into the country that she hates is absolutely ridiculous. And then we'll come for the bullshit time. More bullshit, shall I say. 65% of Brits support breaking international law to make her stateless and ensure she can never return to Britain. Instead, she'll be given legal aid to fight her case. Pathetic. No, it's exactly planned. It's the way things are. The government is totally corrupt, as we all know, you know, beyond belief. Now, I've had a couple of emails recently. As you can see in this one, overdue balance apparently £12. Dear me, we're really sorry to tell you that we cancelled your licence as we were unable to authorise your payment details. Unfortunately, we've had to suspend your account as you're currently have an overdue balance of £12. If you don't keep up with your payments, we may be forced to cancel your licence or pass your details to a debt collection agency. TV licensing, bullshit. TV licensing, trademark, customer service. Please do not reply to this email. We do not monitor replies. Basically, it's a phishing scam. And obviously, for me, it's a piece of piss to spot, because I don't have a TV licence, because I don't watch TV. Why would I want to pay to have propaganda shoved down my throat? It's bad enough I download it and watch it on there, never mind paying for it. So what do we take from that? We say that that is a complete and utter scam. And we'll quickly move on to a second scam. Dear customer, your E.ON energy bill has been issued on 15/4/2019 and has to be paid on 18/4/2019 to avoid any suspensions. Oh, they're going to suspend me? How are they going to do that? Especially since I'm not with E.ON. Your payment details have been declined while system automatically try to change to charge today. Kindly update your details. Update your details. Give me your information so we can rob your bank account here. Yes, it's another scam. Why choose us? Disclaimer notice. This email has been sent by E.ON Energy Solutions Limited, a private limited company registered in England and Wales. Company number, blah, 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 Westwood Way, blah, 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 commentary, blah, blah. The message and any attachments are confidential and should only be read by those to whom they are addressed. So you shouldn't be reading this, you lot. Therefore, if you have received this message in error, please contact us. Delete the message from your computer and destroy any copies. Any distribution of or copying without any prior permission is prohibited. The recipient is responsible for verifying the authenticity of this message before acting on the content. In other words, if you don't check that you're not being scammed, you deserve to be scammed. That's what it's saying there. Homeless man. This is just totally ridiculous and pathetic beyond belief. Homeless man poisoned with arsenic by a stranger who gave him plate of chips. A homeless man believes he was poisoned with arsenic by someone who gave him a plate of chips. The man in his 30s woke up in hospital in Liverpool on Sunday and was told by doctors he had poison in his system. The last thing he remembered is being given a food in Liverpool city centre and said police are now investigating. You know, the guy's having a shit time anyway, and so to go in and do this is just ridiculous, utterly ridiculous. Now, just before I get on to the next one, there will be something at the end for those that make it that far. Tories are using Brexit to get rid of human rights, warns Amnesty. Now, can any of you think of a reason for them getting rid of human rights? Correct, yes, because in that we have the right to life. And if they get rid of that, they can say, well, you've got no right to life, we can kill you. It's part of the dictatorship, the dictatorial plan. And then they can start executing all of those useless eaters that Kissinger talked about. If you don't wake up soon, not you lot, I'm talking about all your other friends and that, if they don't wake the fuck up soon, then the shit's getting real. But let's take a good thing, that this is coming out because they are shitting themselves, because they know the amount that are becoming aware of what's going on is hit at that crucial point where enough will know, and that's it. The 100th monkey syndrome kicks in and it's game over for the criminals. Jail time, long rest of the life jail time. Amnesty International has warned that the government, the criminals, the oligarchies, the cabal is selling off the human rights of British citizens in return for post-Brexit trade deals. In the charity's annual assessment of human rights around the world launched today, the organisations say they fear the British public don't even know that their hard-won rights are under threat. They warn that the frenzied drive to secure new trade deals has seen UK ministers and officials soft-pedalling with regimes who have poor records. Last month, China's national newspaper, the Global Times, praised Theresa May for resisting radical pressure at home to raise concerns over the treatment of democracy protests in Hong Kong in efforts to focus on trade and investment links with the world's second largest economy. When China is praising the Prime Minister, that tells you how far we've slipped. We've become virtually a Chinese state under this treasonous bitch. But it wouldn't make no difference who was in. They're all corrupt bastards working for the New World Order agenda. And how sad is it that when our government is so corrupt, we look at Russia for some sense of sanity? If it's real, that is, of course. Putin warns Western governments are destroying the planet with chemtrails for control and profit. Russian President Vladimir Putin has accused Western governments of geo-manipulation of the Earth's environment through the chemical spraying operations designed to alter the world's climate and poison the population. Russia's premier made the statements while speaking at a fundraising event and claimed that the spraying of chemicals into the air's atmosphere via chemtrails is funded by corporations and sanctioned by governments. Putin said that he was deeply concerned about the uneducated risks of altering our planet's climate, and that it posed a monumental threat that was against nature and all in the pursuit of population control and profit. YNW reports that the charity fundraiser in his hometown St. Petersburg, President Putin has asked if Western governments' atmospheric spraying operations and weather manipulation programs represent the greatest assault on Earth's life and human health in human history. And I would suggest yes, it does. And it would seem that Israel is doing everything it can to become the most hated state in the world, controlled by the Zionists. Israel seizes solar panels donated to Palestinians by Dutch government. Israeli authorities insist that stop work orders were issued before soldiers carried out raid on solar farm which allegedly did not have proper building permits. We'll use our bullshit when we want to. The Netherlands has lodged a complaint with Israeli government after dozens of Dutch solar power donated at a West Bank village were confiscated by Israeli criminals. The hybrid diesel and solar power electric system was installed last year in remote Jubed Dahib, a village home to 150 people in the area of the West Bank occupied by Israel. Invaded by Israel, let's call it how it is. The panels were not built with proper permits and permission. The authorities said confiscating equipment belonging to the £307,000 humanitarian project last week. They're utter criminals. Daily Fail. 9 centuries of history lost in unholy inferno. Notre Dame catastrophe. Now, I'm suspecting here that this will somehow be blamed on a Muslim for deliberately starting the fires. It's not the first, it's the second one to go. There's always more when there's something big like this going. There's always something else going on behind the scenes. And that's just my off-the-cuff thoughts. Metro. World weeps for Notre Dame. Inferno ravages world famous Paris cathedral. So I guess Quasimodo's got to move house. Or has he been repossessed? Didn't pay his mortgage. Death pledge, eh? Anything's possible. Telegraph. Paris weeps for its beloved lady. Like I said, there's more to this than meets the eye. You mark my words, something's going to come out shortly. The Guardian. Renowned prolific paedophile and still member of Parliament, Ken Clarke. Brexit is a parody of student politics. Yes, you'd like to get your hands on them students, wouldn't you, dirty, filthy paedophile bastard? Inferno devastates Notre Dame. Blaze may be linked to building work, say police. Thousands of Parisians watching horror as spire falls. Alarm as study shows winds can blow microplastics around world. The scum. Paris Cathedral in flames. Notre Dame. Yeah. I noticed it had shocking pictures on pages 6, 7, 8 and 9. Yeah, because they want us in shock and whatnot. Teaching crisis. 40% say they will quit within 5 years. Earth from space. Our planet has never seen before. Tragedy of Notre Dame. Paris part of all of those burns. Macron joins distressed Parisians as blaze engulfs 850-year-old cathedral. Javid launches leadership bid with tough love on crime. How much to expect? Javid, this is bullshit. They're all going for the leadership because they know they get Prime Minister's wages for the rest of their lives. Even after they quit, they've been sacked or whatever, they still continue to get wages. And they know there's a big election coming up and they know that the Tories have got no chance. But if Labour gets in, it's like going to be a further tragedy. There's no one to vote for, so if you put a line straight through all the names on the ballot paper, if you're still dumb enough to be on the voters register, and then write on anywhere you like on it, no fit candidate. If everyone did that, that would be the end of Parliament. But of course, you still go, oh, I'm voting for UKIP because they'll make a difference, just like they did last time. Oh. Wait, they didn't, did they? Well, I'm voting for the Brexit party then because they'll make a difference. Oh, that's more Farage, isn't it? And he's a paid-for City of London controlled asset, isn't it? Doesn't look like anything that can happen there by voting at all then, does it? How much to expect when you're expecting? Maths for babies. Arresters. Climate change protesters block central London. No, don't arrest them. Leave them alone. New drug hope for kidney and diabetes patients. How about an organic diet? Cannabis oil. Oh, there's so many things. It's just ridiculous that we've been poisoned and let it get to this stage. They're now offering us the cure to the poison they've done to us. The Times. Battle to save Notre Dame. 5 devastated Fire devastates 155-year-old cathedral in less than 5 hours. Experts had warned of risk to Gothic masterpiece. More pregnant at 40. That's because they're having to work now later and put off having kids till later because they can't afford it. Thanks to the government. Abductors named. Protesters blockade. Generals warned. Big firms target UK. United tough test. Mirror. Notre Dame blaze horror. Strictly Stacey, Kevin's secret hotel night. Now, if you look at those pictures there, you'll see them in another one as well, with the same picture again. NHS nursing crisis. 1 in 4 wards unsafe. Staffing back to dangerous levels despite lessons of mid-staff scandal. Now, the reason that this is in such a state is because it doesn't matter which government, they've all underfunded it deliberately to get the nurses to leave so they can import nurses. That's all part of the plan. This invasion has been going on, has been planned for years and years in advance. It started, well, back in the 70s, actually started way back before that. They first brought in the Jamaicans. And the Jamaicans are great. I've got loads of Jamaican friends that they integrate. Then they brought in the Indians. Now they're great as well. They integrate somewhat, and you can get on with them. Then they brought in the Pakistanis, not so great, although some sort of do, but most of them aren't. And now they're bringing in these Africans. But it goes much deeper. This has all been, if you think back to the 80s, 79, 80s, when Forest won the European Cup twice on the trot. You look at the squad then. The only black in the squad was, I believe it was Viv Anderson, Jamaican. And then, of course, we started this European football shit, where then suddenly you were only allowed 2 foreign players. Now you're allowed a whole team of foreign players. And that's them showing you what they've got planned for the country, to invade the country. All teams now are foreign teams. Supporting a football team now is a waste of time because it's full of foreigners. And I'm not against immigration. I'm against mass immigration, which is what's going on. And a corrupt government. Well, the government aren't even worth a piece of piss that they're at where they're at, because they're all controlled and they carry on the agenda of the Zionists. Yes, it all stretches back to Zionism and Israel and the Zionist controllers of Israel, because that's the plan, to destroy Europe, destroy America, take them back to the Stone Age. That's why they've all got places over in New Zealand where they can all bug out to. The waste of paper star, and there's that pictures again of the two same pictures. Sex cop missed 999 call. UFC column, I'll smash my way to top 10. Jungle star Annie reveals all. I'm a celeb, but I didn't get him out. It looks like she did, but who would want to see them anyway? Express. Strictly split Stacey's secret date at hotel. Home Secretary, my appearance, love saved me from life of crime. Yeah, I think you got that wrong. You're in the biggest criminal cartel there is. 3 million fail to take proper medication. Half of statins users risk lives. No, because they've realised it's toxic poison and they're not going to take it. They'll still take the pills, then bin them. Or, unfortunately, stick them down the sinks where it ends up in the water supply. A nation weeps as inferno engulfs Notre Dame. Financial Times. Fire ravages Notre Dame. Goldman dashes shake up hopes. Weak revenues hurt profits. Solomon delays overall details. Wall Street frustrated. ON's big data system shows economy losing momentum in first quarter. Rebellion brings climate fight to heart of London. Yeah, more dumbly educated. And finally, as we can see here, wife gets naked and asks hubby, what turns you on more, my pretty face or my sexy body? Keep calm and oh feck, it enjoyed something. Hubby looks her up and down and replies, your effing sense of humour. And finally, here's a little song I wrote called Wake the Feck Up or We're All Gonna Die.